Happy Saturday, you guys. It's Rick here with another lesson. Listen, you know, one of the last things we talked about on here was that Matthew, I believe it's the 13th chapter. 13, you know, is the number 4, alright, and 4 represents the world, okay, and the world is your world. The world is your mind. It's made up of 2 hemispheres, a north and a south. But in our world, we got an east and a west. Alright? And north is our emotions, south winds up being the skin itself. Alright? The physical side of us. So, what I want to do is I want to continue on with those parables that are in that Matthew chapter 13. What's very interesting about it is that, you know, we'll be starting off with it looks like number 24, alright? And so what I went ahead and did is I wrote all these things out in these parables, but what I did is I took the numbers like 4 to 24 and turned it into a 6, alright? And then a 6, 7, 8, 9, and then it starts all over again with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you just do that with that. If you can do that, you can write it in your Bibles, you know, or whatever it is if you want to follow along. But to show you how the code works and how it helps, if you knew the code, and I'm showing you the code, how it helps you to understand what they're talking about, alright? It's the whole point in knowing, you know, and how to understand what this Bible is talking about, what is in a parable. So you have to remember, 1 is usually initiation. That's going to be talking about, you know, like in here, he said unto them, when Jesus is saying something, or when something is, it's the beginning of something. Usually having to do with God, or with the setup of the story, the initial setup of everything. Okay, and 2 is going to be a combination of 2 things. 2 things are going to be put together in one of these, and this is usually along the lines of what God, the One, has created. So number 2 becomes His creation, and that's generally having to do with, the, you know, in this case, it's a lot of times we're looking at tares and wheat, all right? And we know that tares are the bad side, which would be the negative, or the you know, the male side, and that the wheat actually winds up being, you know, listen, Virgo, she's carrying wheat, okay? This is the female side, and it's the positive side. The house, it's you. When you're going out of this house, is, you know, going into meditation, going back into this house, is coming back to you. Alright? So that means that when you come back to you and you talk about, you know, there's a spot in here where they're gonna say, you know, it's about coming home. This is where I am. This is when I come back to my own country, my own place, you know. So that's 3. So 2. 3 is when there's going to be some kind of an intervention. 3 can be either negative or positive intervention that's going to either choke you or is going to save you. But there's a way of looking at that, because it's really something coming in and taking those 2 that you were just introduced to and making more out of them. Alright? So this 3, it becomes, the 3 is always an intervention, something beautiful most of the time, because it's the joining of 1 and 2 to make 3. That's the joining of whatever they're talking about. If it's God, and then you in the second spot, and then it's God and you, all 3 together. Boom. But sometimes it's not like that. Sometimes it's initiating, talking about something that's not good, you know, as the 1, and then being influenced would be you, and the outcome would not be a great intervention. So you have to understand that this is about duality. All right. And so that would be for number 3. Number 4, which is what this chapter is all about, is worlds. It's about worlds. And your world is represented by your mind in a north, east, south, and west direction. And these are your horsemen. These are getting everybody in tune. This is what winds up being the harp. And most of these other more symbolic stories, because you want to have them all in tune in order to get from west, which is from our skin, to the east, which is our spirit. And our emotions have to be involved, and of course our sacrifice, our skin has to be prepared for this. So this is our world, and that's what this whole chapter is about. So when they're talking about sowing seeds, they're not talking about planting seeds. They're talking seeds in this situation are learning how to read this Bible correctly. So their thoughts, and and you either understand them and good things, good thoughts, or you can misinterpret them and then bad things. This is the idea of if letter kills, spirit saves. So we're teaching each other how to have that ear, how to have those eyes, and how to get that understanding from the heart, and then something beautiful will happen to you. All right, there's your magic, because you get connected with God. It's so beautiful. They say it's witchcraft. It's just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. So that was the number 4. Number 5 becomes you and me. That's the skin. That's the sacrifice. That's the brethren. It's when you're gathering together. It's your disciples. These guys that are following you. They're doing whatever you tell them to do. You're Jesus. They bow to you. They're your brothers. In the stories, when Jacob's sons find out that there was a dream where, they had to bow to their younger brother. We'll never do that. Well, they wound up bound to him later on when he becomes, the right-hand man of the Pharaoh later on. So, it's your brethren, it's 5, it's the skin, it's your sacrifice, it's the bull, it's the animal. There's a lot of things in there. You also, the tree, the things that grow. There's a chance that, you are this tree. All right? 5, that's 5. 6 is the top of the ladder. So darkness comes into play. There's just one more place. This is where usually someone comes in and tries to stop you from going, or ready to go, but everyone's all gathered together. This is 6. We're all ready to go, 6 is this, gathering the brethren together. Everyone's all coming. We're all going to come to some kind of a feast, or some kind of a rally, or some kind of a war. Again, this is all either less good or bad when it happens. We get to the number 7. 7 becomes, this is the action. Something is coming on. This is when the light comes into the scene. Fire and brimstone, something. Sometimes, there's food, and sometimes there's rest, but all of these are this idea that things change at this point. This is when, all hell breaks loose. This is the day of the Lord, the 7th day. Let's keep it holy. It's the 7th chakra. All right. 8. 8 is the finished product. 8 is usually about control. It's generally, people that are being drunk at this time. They're enjoying the new wine, which is the new spirit. They're naked because they have no skin. Remember, you got rid of that when you went through the water, and you're just naked and drunk in the presence of the Lord. All right. That's 8. It's that, you know, we made it over there. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes you're sent to bed. They throw the beans out the window, and you're sent to bed without any supper. You know, and then 9 becomes the, you know, what was the outcome of this? Did you get up there? Did you make it? Are you now right-minded? Or did you not make it and you're still left-minded? Left being half-brains, you know? But 9 is consciousness. That number 9 is very important in all the stories. It's achievement, you know. Are you the son of man? Or are you the son of God? You know, do you serve the mankind? Or do you serve the Lord? You know, is it inside or outside? Left and right. And that's consciousness. And again, the idea is that it's in duality. All right, so let's run through these things real fast. I don't want to keep you forever. So one of the next parables is the one about a man who sows good seed in his field. Man is you and me right now, male and female. So it's the left mind. All right, just plain old, your carnal, left conscious, lower conscious mind. All right, is the field that we're playing in. It is called earth later on. Later on they asked Jesus to, please tell us that parable. Please let us know what is in this parable. Just in these stories you should recognize he's telling 2 stories. And he tells them that. Does any man have ears? Let's let him hear it. When I have most of my time is, you're making this up. He doesn't say that. I said, dang, you guys. You know, you guys, it's about being illiterate. You know, it says very well what it is, but you know, listen. We understand that we get a certain ear and all. We're seeing and hearing things that they aren't hearing and that they aren't seeing. And, you know, it's not easy to pinpoint it to people that are blind and really don't want to see it. All right? But when you get down to it, you would learn that this first 4 parts of this story is about the world. So, you know, we've got 6, 7, 8, and 9, which represent, come on, I'm dyslexic here, and I'm doing this, represents the scriptures 24, 25, 26, and 27. They came in 4s, which is about worlds, right? So what it goes is we're traveling from west, which is man. And we're going all the way to east, which will be the last one. We're trying to get them going. And this is setting up the story. Alright? This is how I'm telling you, the number system is how you learn what the hell these damn things are talking about. Alright. So, we have a 6, which is the top of a ladder situation. Alright? And it's a west at the same time. Another parable put forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened to a man which sowed good seed in his field. That's the intellectual side. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. That's the north. That's our emotions. Remember, we went to the emotional side, and that's it, sowed tares, all right, and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. That's the skin. That's the south, all right, our physical side. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst thou not sow good seed in thy field? From whence hath its tares? From whence hath its tares? With the community. That's the east. So right now, what it's set up is that's 1, 2, 3, 4. This is set up. This is talking about us right now. We were born. We haven't gone through the motions to go up there and connect with the Lord. This is what you got. Let them grow up, and well, the idea is just let them grow together. And then 28, 29, and 30 are in 3's. This is what you got to do. He said unto them, the enemy hath done this. And the servants said unto them, wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, nay, lest thou gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Yet let both of them grow together until the harvest. And in that time of the harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather together first the tares and bind them in bundles, and we'll burn them. But gather the wheat into my barn. That's 3. All right. This is the 1, 2, 3 intervention. All right. That was really beautiful. And then it's going to go again. All right. Another parable put forth, saying the kingdom of heaven is likened to a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field. Here we go again. All right. That's also 4 about his world and field. Field is world. Your field is that lower conscious is a field. That's our world. That's part of it. All right. That's the intellectual side of us. All right. Number 32, which indeed is the least of seeds, but when it is grown, it is greatest amongst all herbs, and becomes a tree, so that birds of the air can come and lodge in its branches thereof. That's just beautiful. That is talking about you and I, and this idea of the birds. This is in the branches. This represents our emotions again. This is the north. Another parable he spake unto them, and the kingdom of heaven is like unto leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of meal, till the whole was leavened. All right? That's pretty fast. All right? What she was doing is, this is the third, leavened is no thought. Leavened is bread. Leavened bread is that it doesn't rise. And so she put this piece in there, and with these other 3 measures until they were all the same. This is what she does. This is this is a beautiful part. 1, 2, 3. All right. And 3 measures of meal. All right. All these things spake Jesus into the multitudes of parables, and without the parables spake he not unto them. This is the east. So we just went through it again. And Jesus says, this is number 8. And of course 7. That 7 is when Jesus spake these things in parables. And to the multitudes. Let's see, number 35. That it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophets, saying, I will open my mouth in parables, and I will utter things which have been kept secret from the foundations of the world. All right. Remember, this whole thing, this number 13 is about 4, and 4 represents worlds. Look how it's working out. All right. It's really neat. Then Jesus sent his multitudes away and went into the house. And his disciples came unto him, saying, Declare us the parable of the tares of the fields. All right, this is number 9. And so that means that what he was wanting, that 9 is, give us this information, tell us what this is. So, no one's really even made it up here yet, I don't believe. But let's keep on going, because the number system starts all over again. He answered and said unto them, He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. That's you and me. The field is the world, which is the earth, which is our mind. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, and the tares are the children of the wicked one. That's number 38. That represents two. God's creation, you and I, the positive side and our negative side. What is solid and what is unseen. That's his creation. That is your skin and this beautiful spiritual side of us. Alright? Okay, so the field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom. And the tares are the children of the wicked one. It's just showing our minds being separated in duality. 3. The enemy that has sowed it is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. You just can't get any better than that. I love it. Yeah, yes. Oh, whatever. Cool beans. This, oh my goodness. This just messed me up. 1, 2, 3. And the enemy is the devil, which is the lower mind, the lower conscious. And the harvest is at the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. So, it's what happens inside of here. Oh, it's just so wonderful. But we're on our way now to having something more positive happens. And so, as therefore the tares are gathered and burnt in the fire, so shall it be at the end of this world. That's 40. Alright? The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of the kingdom all the things that offend, and them which do iniquity. That's the coolest stuff. And shall cast them into a fire, into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. This is 6. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of the Father. Who has ears to hear, let them hear. That's number 7. Wow, you guys. The way this thing is working out, it is the neatest things in the world. Here, this number 5. Here's number 41. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of the kingdom the things that offend, and which are things that are of iniquity. You send up forth an angel. You, through your, send up this angel, and he's here to gather the good side and the bad side. This is us in meditation, alright? And we shall cast into the fire those things that are bad, and these are the gnashing of the teeth. And of course, this is this is religion, Some people just don't want to give that one up. And on 7th, again, this is the 7th chakra. The 7th, this is where good things happen. This is, and there shall the righteous shine forth like the sun in the kingdom of the Father. Who has ears to hear, let them hear. Listen, we're hearing. I hope you guys are hearing. These are long. You don't make it this far. Even less people are traveling on this path. Alright? Here's 8. Then again the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a treasure hidden in a field, of which when man hath found, he hideth. And he go for joy thereafter, goeth and selleth all that he hath, and he buyeth that field. That's number 8. 8 is when you've found it, you've tasted of it, It's yours. You found it. It's mine. That's 8. That's control. You finally got it going on. All right. Usually in those stories, the carriage winds up being pulled by 8 horses. Number 9. Kingdom is likened unto a merchant man seeking goodly pearls, who then found one pearl of great price, went and sold all he had and bought it. Now, that's setting us up for another one. That's 46 was 1. Started off, I found 1 pearl. So went and got everything that he had together, sold it, and bought that pearl. The kingdom of heaven is likened unto a net that was cast into the sea and gathered of every kind, which when it was full, they drew it to shore, sat down. Remember in the story between Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs? The very first thing was someone sat in my seat. I told you that was about going and sitting down and beginning your meditation. All right. So here we are. So Number 3, because you're gathering them all together. Which when it was full, when this net was full, they drew it to shore. Sat down. This is when you sat down on the side of the water, and gathered the good into the vessel, cast the bad away. That's this cleansing of a house. So it shall be at the end of the world, and the angel shall come forth and sever the wicked from amongst the just. That's number 49, which is another world. Everywhere you see that word world. And shall cast into the furnace and the fire, and there shall be wailing and gnashings of teeth. That's number 5. The skin's going in for cleaning. Jesus said unto them, have you understood all these things? Yea. They said, yea, the Lord said, and this is number 6. He's about to push them over. Then he said unto them, therefore every scribe which is instructed into the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man that has a householder, which bringeth forth out of his treasures things new and old. It's number 7. And it came to pass that Jesus had finished the parables, that he departed thence. That's 8. When he had completed them. Number 9. And when he had come to his own country, he taught them in their synagogues, so much that they were astonished, and said, henceforth this man with this wisdom and these mighty works. This is number 9. 9 is showing him he's come back into himself, into his own country, back into his, and he went back into teaching. This would be like, remember, this isn't real, but he's back to himself, and himself as this teacher, and he knows these things. This is what he's teaching, and these mighty works, and it's freaking out. The Pharisees, they're like, what? So anyways, this is going to end with the last 4, because it goes 55, 56, 57, 58. This is what you get. This is the idea. We started off with 4, we're ending up with 4. And it says, is this not the carpenter's son, whose mother was called Mary, and his brethren James and Joseph and Simon and Judas? That's the talking all about. They use the word Simon in there. Those guys are Levites. This is the intellectual side. So that's the West. And his sisters, are they not all with us? Whence there has their man all these things? Whence whence then hath this man all these things? I didn't know Jesus to have sisters. You know, do you remember Jesus having any sisters? But anyways, they mention in here because sisters represent your emotions. So there's your north, all right? And they were offended in him. But Jesus said unto them, a prophet is not without honor, save in his own country and his own house. Save in his own skin, the south, all right? This is Numbers 3. I mean, this winds up being, 57. And he did not many mighty works there because of their unbelief. So he was restrained by this group of people, and this is the east, which is the spiritual side. It's restrained because of the lack of belief. You know, that's been restrained. That's how it ends. And I'm sure that we're going to, because Matthew is about how to break through all of that. It's the same way. So Matthew chapter 14 is going to be about your skin. So it's going to tell us how to go about, you know, rectifying this, because this is talking about worlds. This is all about worlds. And all those parables, you know, what about that, you know? The sowing of the seeds and the seeds that fall by the wayside. If you can remember that from the parable before, was those people who gained the knowledge of the Bible from the outside, and that the wicked person came and took whatever was sown in their hearts away. All right? So you got to understand that the seed is how do you understand this Bible. All right? And we're going to back it up real fast. Oh my goodness. Here is one here. For the people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, you know, and I should heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear the things that ye hear, and have not heard them. You know, a lot of people haven't heard this side of the Bible before. And how cool it is. How cool it is. You know, there is only one way. You can't think of that any other way, unless you just interpret the top side of the Bible. You've got 5,000 different ways to do that. Showing you how the number system works in this Bible. You know, it takes away, you know, the stupidness. You will understand more what they're talking about when they call you the tree and all this stuff, you know, and the birds can come and fly and nest in the top of it, you know, and that's her. That's the female side. She's the bird that can fly between heaven and earth, you know, and man sends out his angels to get all this stuff started, you know. He's the tiller of the land, you know, man, you know, just what we're told. Man is supposed to go out, you know, he's supposed to plow the field, you know, and he's supposed to do the hunting, right? And what does a woman got to do? She's got to sit in, she's supposed to stay in the kitchen. She's barefoot, right? And she's pregnant all the time, all right? I'm telling you that as funny as it sounds, you know, tilling of the soil and the mind is meaning to meditate, all right? And the woman stoking the fire over here, she's barefoot because she's spirit. She has no, when you're barefoot means you don't have skin. These things are just so beautiful, You know, and men does, you know, and they make fun of it. They make fun of me when I say, you know, when they tell that story about an airplane flying over, you know, a bunch of Aborigines or something. The next thing you know, they're all out there. They built their own wooden airplane, and they're you know, having a fun time. Let me tell you, we're all doing it. You know, just we're all doing it. Anyways, I think I'm in the audience now. It's kind of fun. I love you guys. I know this is long. That's how it goes. You know, that's a whole mess of parables killed at one time. And believe me, it's all about how you go about registering this information inside of you. All right? Best to you. Oh, wonderful things happen. Just want to remember that. Remind you that. Wonderful things happen once you understand that. Love you. Bye.